Hey everybody, we're going to go in a little different direction today than sometimes I do. We're talking about mixing a little bit, and I want to look at one of the ways we can use the drummer track or any of the drummer designer tools that we have in order to really help us with the mix and in some specific situations. So I've got this part of the song I'm working on where it's going from the chorus into the bridge, and I want the drums to change their overall sound a little bit. But I want to keep the core drum part the same, the drummer track the same. So I'm going to look at automating some of the individual pieces of the drummer. Let me just play this little transition for you first. Inside of me, I do not go because I need. I go because I want to see. Hold your hand out now. So it already goes from one pattern into a little different variation of the pattern. So you can see in the chorus we have the overall matrix here set, and we have the snare hi-hat. And then when we go into the bridge, the clap starts. It's just a different pattern overall. And we have this one with the number 2 kick and snare pattern, but in the actual bridge, it's following one of the tracks. So it's just a little bit different feel to the whole thing. What I want, though, is the actual kick to change as we go on into that next section. So if we go into automation mode by pushing A on our keyboard, and over here I choose which I want to see. We're going to go into the drum kit, into kick, and first I want to do tuning. I want to actually detune the kick a little bit. Let's open up another lane of our automation into the drum kit again with the kick. And this time I want to adjust the dampening. So we're going to be doing these two things here. Let's zoom in a little bit at this transition. So we're going to pick that up right before we get here. And we're going to have it even go lower for this section. And we'll see about 500, but we're going to have it transition as we get there. Now, with the second, dampening, I'm actually going to add or turn down the dampening. Right now, it's pretty tightly mixed. And all of this is going to be adjusting out here on the actual drum kit designer. If I kick on the kick, you'll see the tuning and the dampening. And we could do the gain if we wanted to. We might actually have to turn it up. So what I'm doing with this is when I'm mixing this drum kit here, instead of doing the producer kit and having all the tracks out at the very beginning, I do that when I need to. But a lot of times I can get to the end results just by coming in and adjusting the individual kit pieces like this. So if my kick is too present in the mix, I may tune it down just a little bit and turn up the dampening percentage and turn down the gain. I can do a lot of the mix here, or I can just change the actual sample and maybe get a lot closer. So I'm adjusting and manipulating the kit at this level. And then if I need to do additional control over things, I will actually go into the producer kit and mix the individual mics. Now, we could do other parameters in here. We have inside here, we have gain and leak and mute, overheads, room A, room B, but we're going to just stick with these main two for now. So let's listen once. Go because I need, I go because I want to see. Hold your hand. So let's solo it out and hear it. I think that's going to add a little bit more impact as we go into this section, which is actually a little bit bigger in terms of the overall mix. Let's lead into a little longer. Want to see, I see the world inside of you. I see the world inside of me. I do not go because I need. I go because I want to see. Hold your hand out now. Okay, so let's actually make it a little bit louder as we go too. So I already have that one chosen. This is more of an incremental change. It doesn't do it like the other. So we'll come through and just have to do a little bit of stair step to make it louder. And then we'll hit one right here. Okay, let's check that out.
I do not go because I need. I go because I want to see. Hold your hand out now.
Now we could do the same thing with snare if we wanted to like make it a little bit different, bigger sound, tune it down midstream, but automation gives us a lot of control to make our drum sounds exactly how we want them. Even though it's an automated style drummer, we can actually go through and make all these changes happen throughout the entire production. Okay, that's what I want to show today. I hope this was interesting for you. Starting next week, we have a little different thing going on with the channel. If you made it this far in the video, you're going to hear about it right this second. We're actually doing our first annual record audio production trip to Prague in the Czech Republic. We got 12 students coming, so we're going to switch over just for 2 weeks to a little bit more of a vlog style thing going on, where we talk about the studios we're working in and the other things we're doing on this trip. So check that out, and then after the 2 weeks, we'll be back to normal with these tutorial style videos a couple times a week. Okay, hope you're having a great week, and I will see you next week with something a little bit different.